Hi Facebook friends and family. I'm going to Cyprus on Saturday for an appeal hearing next week, but also to protest. A lot's happened in the last 10 days and I thought by doing a little video would be the most efficient way of letting everyone know. I'm also borrowing my daughter's iPad for the trip, and I'm using this opportunity to test some software I'll be using over there, so I might just drop in some graphics and take this little thing for a spin. Well, last week was eventful. On Monday I was at the protest in London for the Iron gang rape victim. The day went really well, it was worthwhile. I both took part in the event, marching and talking to the press, and kind of for the first time I was a reporter myself, doing live streams and tweets. Now, as I said on those live streams, Twitter has been the platform of choice for me recently. I've been engaging not only with the general public, but also journalists, lawyers, NGOs and politicians. And we're gaining traction. In a little under a month, the analytics show that we hit 800,000 impressions, and one tweet alone, which took 10 minutes to compose, had 100,000 impressions, and 30,000 people viewed a 2-minute video clip I made a year ago. So Twitter it is for me, but with every action or a protest or when I publish a new video, I get overwhelmed with messages. People reconnecting and new victims coming forward. So please bear with me as I catch up. It's going to be a crazy month. Well, that was Monday. Tuesday was the sentencing for the British Iron gang rape victim, and we know how that went. But thankfully she's home now. But on Tuesday, I was contacted by journalists I'd met at the protest and others who saw my tweets, including the BBC Victoria Derbyshire show, 3 national newspapers, and even a TV news channel in Israel wanted me to go live via Skype, and they all wanted me to talk about and give background on the police and corruption in Cyprus. I didn't take them up on this offer this time. I politely declined, instead pointing them towards my website and some key documents because I felt I was close to my appeal this year. But little did I know how close I was. On Wednesday, exactly a week ago today, I was told that next week is my appeal hearing. Now, I welcome my appeal. I've been pushing for it for years, but I've also been pushing for my legal aid and for key documents to be handed over and translated. Now, in the lower court proceedings, after being granted this legal aid, well, there's no polite way of saying this, but I was lied to by the judges of the lower court, who would tell me to hand in my receipts and I'll be paid on my next trip. And the trips went on, and all those flights and car hire, accommodation costs, mounted up. And then I was told I would be paid at the end. But nothing was ever given, nothing returned, putting us into debt. The whole process of legal aid was cruel and degrading, and it severely hampered our case, as documents couldn't be translated, witnesses were skipped and corners were cut due to lack of funds. Now the same thing is happening again at the Supreme Court. They granted us legal aid again last year after a few hearings, but there's no mechanism in place for that to happen, for documents to be translated, etc. It doesn't exist for foreigners. Now my case is 14 years old, and I'm not going to let this happen again behind a closed court door with no press and a passionate speech by my lawyer just given the swat down by judges. I fly to Cyprus on Saturday. My appeal hearing is the following Friday the 24th. I'll be working with my lawyer all week to prepare, and I have some key meetings lined up, including the British High Commission on Monday. Now, if you know me, you know what's coming next. I've done it many times before, and I'm going to do it again at the Supreme Court. I'm going to camp outside on the steps of the Supreme Court all week. I'll be damned if I'm going into debt, paying for more flights, accommodation, car hire, translation of documents, and a translator in court that should be paid out of this EU legal aid. I don't care how stupid this makes me look. The shame is on Cyprus, not on me. And I'm doing this not only for me, but for all the other foreigners to follow. I'll be doing more videos about this. Anyway, that was last Wednesday. Thursday and Friday I did a fantastic media workshop with Anna Breeze, the former BBC and ITV reporter, and the workshop is designed for journalists, whistleblowers and activists, teaching us the latest software and techniques to get your message out fast in a new media kind of way. I'll do a separate video on that workshop thanking Anna, and I'll try and practice those techniques because I'm going to bloody well need them next week. Since then, I've been preparing for my case, getting things in order, but yesterday I returned to London to St James's Square and met for over an hour with the Consul General and was briefly joined by the Cypriot High Commissioner. I was obviously telling them about my continued abuse, about the judiciary, my upcoming protest and the broader picture of how Brits are treated within the justice system in Cyprus. So in a few days, on Friday, I'm meeting with my MP, Sir Paul Beresford, at Portcullis House, again discussing the treatment of Brits in Cyprus and of course my own personal case. And then on Saturday, I fly and it all kicks off. More videos to come soon. Please share this and wish me luck.